Here we have Ethereum. We're actually going to be looking at Ethereum versus Bitcoin first, and then we'll look at Ethereum versus the dollar. And we do see that the 5-day and by extension the weekly are starting to put in some signals of a major low. It still is yet to be confirmed and would not be confirmed until we do see at minimum a daily closure of about 0.072. I think that's 7.2 million Satoshis. If that does happen, I would be looking for extension up probably into the shallow 8 million Satoshi region yet again, and that's going to solidify this as your next major long-term low. With that in mind, I should offer up an invalidation for that, or it's not necessarily an invalidation because this has not been validated to begin with. And for what it's worth, I mean, it's still, still a downturn right here, and we did just get another drive of hidden bearish divergence on the last high. You could argue that that has already played out, however. What I would say, though, is if you do see any sort of a closure below 6.5 million Satoshis, I would be looking for major downside continuation, very likely back down to about 6.25 to 6.3 million Satoshis in this case. So that would be rather interesting. Anyways, I just want to reference the timeframes that you're looking at. Yeah, let's also go look at it from a stochastic momentum perspective, as that would be perhaps relevant towards your interests. Let's see if that lines up perhaps. Daily will turn up for the first time in a while, or continue with upside momentum as long as you do close above 6 million Satoshis today. Weekly is going to turn freshly up above 7 million Satoshis, so this is actually looking better and better. And 5 days, 7 million Satoshis as well. So I would keep a keen eye on those regions. That's obviously going to be around your upside resolution on even a daily closure as well. And let's also go check out the Ethereum US dollar pairing. See where this one's at. I believe it hit the, no, it did not hit the validation regions just yet that we were looking for a major continuation. It's kind of same thing over here as well as many of the charts we've seen today. Still working on lower highs, to be fair, and I would confirm this as your next lower high if you do get a daily closure below specifically 2,800. If you do see that, I actually would be calling another move back down to your lows from late February, somewhere around there. Until then, I do think that things are generally speaking more likely to try some more upside from here, but until it does validate above the same area that we overlaid, I think it was on Monday of this week, that would be above about 3,100. Let me just double check on this one. Sorry, make that 3,150 or so at earliest. That condition is not met. If it does get met, I would be looking for big rallies up. First target would be about 3,600 or so. Long term, I'd be looking at this as a major low with hidden bullish evidence of the 2 drives variety on the weekly, and that would have a technical target up towards 38 to maybe even $4,000 over time. So I would kind of hold off on any sort of more long-term statement. We don't really have confirmations on either side just yet, and I would exercise extreme caution just below about 2,800 on a daily. Until then, I do think that it has a chance alongside Bitcoin, but short-term pullbacks down to like 2,850 is certainly not out of the question here. So hopefully that was helpful, and there you go for Ethereum, sir.